This content explores graphic and disturbing stories and may not be suitable for younger audiences or those who may find it unsettling. Have you ever heard of mysterious cases involving children? Why was the legal system in the U.S. at that time not strict enough to protect children, allowing criminals to commit their acts without being closely monitored? Today, we will explore two cases involving children that took place in the 1990s. Cases that not only shocked the public but also raised serious concerns about law enforcement and the responsibility of the justice system. If you love uncovering mysteries, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss future content. And now, let's dive into the main story. The case of Polly Klaas, 1993. Polly Klaas, a 12-year-old girl from Petaluma, California, was a bright and lively child who loved acting and dreamed of becoming an actress. But on the night of October 1st, 1993, that dream was tragically cut short. That evening, Polly was hosting a sleepover with two friends at her home. Around 10 p.m., a stranger broke in, armed with a knife. He tied up the other two girls with duct tape and rope before abducting Polly. The house remained eerily silent, with Polly's mother in another room, completely unaware of what was happening. When the two girls finally freed themselves and ran for help, the kidnapper had already disappeared into the night. The search for Polly became one of the largest missing child investigations in U.S. history. Millions of flyers were distributed, and thousands of volunteers, along with the FBI, joined the effort. However, there were no clear eyewitnesses, no security footage, and no concrete leads on where the abductor had taken her. A major breakthrough came on October 19, 1993, when a man named Richard Allen Davis was arrested for an unrelated offense. During questioning, his behavior raised suspicions, but at first, authorities didn't connect him to Polly's disappearance. Then, investigators discovered a chilling detail. On the night of the kidnapping, a police officer had stopped Davis near a wooded area close to Polly's home. At the time, the officer let him go, not realizing that Polly could still have been alive at that very moment. Retracing their steps, investigators searched the wooded area again. On December 4, 1993, Polly's body was found in a remote location. Evidence suggested that she had likely been murdered soon after being taken. Richard Allen Davis was arrested and later confessed to the crime. Davis had a long criminal record, including assault, theft, and kidnapping, yet, due to lenient laws at the time, he had been released multiple times. Had the justice system been stricter, he might never have had the opportunity to commit this horrific act. At his trial, Davis showed no remorse, even smirking as Polly's grieving mother spoke about her loss, a moment that fueled widespread outrage. In response to this tragedy, the U.S. government passed the Three Strikes Law in 1994, a law that mandates life imprisonment for anyone convicted of 3 serious offenses. This became one of the most significant reforms in the U.S. criminal justice system. On August 5, 1996, Richard Allen Davis was sentenced to death. However, due to California's moratorium on executions since 2019, he remains in prison. Still, one fact remains unchanged. He took the life of an innocent child, leaving a lasting impact on the legal system. The case of Polly Klaas is a painful reminder of the flaws in the justice system. Had law enforcement acted differently when stopping Davis that night, had laws been stricter for repeat offenders, Polly might still be alive. But sometimes, justice comes only after irreversible loss. The case of Adam Walsh, 1981. Adam Walsh, a 6-year-old boy from Hollywood, Florida, was the only son of John and Reve Walsh. On July 27, 1981, Adam accompanied his mother to Sears to shop for a lamp. While Reve left him near the arcade games for just a moment to ask a store employee a question, she had no idea it would be the last time she saw her son. When she returned, Adam was gone. At first, Reve assumed Adam had wandered off somewhere in the store. But after searching everywhere with no sign of him, panic set in. A security guard mentioned that a group of older kids had been playing in the arcade earlier but were asked to leave due to causing a disturbance. Adam might have followed them, but from that moment on, no one saw him again. The Walsh family immediately reported his disappearance, but at the time, there was no standardized procedure for handling missing children cases. There were no immediate alerts, no AMBER alert system like there is today. 2 weeks later, on August 10, 1981, a fisherman discovered part of Adam's remains in a canal in Vero Beach, over 200 kilometers from where he had disappeared. Authorities confirmed that Adam had been murdered, but the exact details of what happened to him during those missing days remained a mystery. The case of Adam Walsh shocked the nation. How could a child vanish in broad daylight from a busy shopping center and later be found murdered without any clear answers? The Walsh family was devastated, but instead of succumbing to grief, John Walsh vowed to seek justice, not just for Adam, but for all missing children. Police investigated multiple suspects, but the case was riddled with dead ends. One of the primary suspects was Otis Toole, a serial killer who had confessed to numerous crimes. Toole claimed he had abducted Adam from the store, taken him in his truck, and later killed him. However, his confession was inconsistent. At times, he admitted to the crime, while at others, he denied involvement. With little physical evidence, authorities were unable to formally charge him. It wasn't until 2008 that Florida police officially closed the case, naming Otis Toole as the murderer based on circumstantial evidence. But by that time, Toole had already died in prison. Adam's tragic death led to sweeping changes in the U.S. child protection system. His parents, particularly John Walsh, became leading advocates for child safety. He spearheaded efforts to reform the legal system, which ultimately led to the passage of the Adam Walsh Child Protection and Safety Act, 2006. This law created a nationwide system to track and monitor sex offenders, strengthening the ability of law enforcement to prevent similar crimes. More significantly, Adam's case was a driving force behind the establishment of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, an organization that has since helped rescue thousands of missing children. John Walsh didn't stop there. He became the host of America's Most Wanted, a television show dedicated to helping police track down dangerous criminals. His relentless pursuit of justice turned him from a grieving father into a symbol of law enforcement advocacy, leading to the capture of hundreds of fugitives across the country. Yet, despite all the progress made, one undeniable truth remains: Adam Walsh never came home. Even today, lingering questions remain. Was Otis Toole truly the killer, or is there another perpetrator who was never identified? What really happened to Adam in his final moments? Though the case has been officially closed, these unanswered questions leave an open wound, not just for the Walsh family, but for an entire nation. Have you heard about these two cases? What intrigues you the most about them? If you'd like me to dive deeper into a specific case, let me know in the comments below. See you in the next video.